how are things in Texas Gamers Lounge area? Because you had two locations in Austin and San Marcos. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. So I guess on the 15th, we heard we're supposed to close, so we did, unwillingly. But I mean, it's willingly but unwillingly, right?
Right, you're a business, so you have to stay in business. It's the same situation we at
Yeah,
Free Play find ourselves in, where you're a business that owes rent, and
correct.
And
that
Rental.
doesn't
revenue approaches zero.
right. It just hits straight to zero. Yeah, yeah, it's awful, and so
Yeah, I
you're
mean,
you're
like the
responsible.
definition of rug getting pulled out from underneath you is was that.
Yeah, 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 and there's not even a floor underneath. It's just
No,
yeah, you're
constant
just
falling.
falling.
It's like infinite falling.
Yeah. Um, so yeah, that's a rough situation, and we're trying to help Free Play get through it. And yeah, so did you have to let off your staff?
I didn't. We get paid every 2 weeks,
Hmm.
and it would happen to be payday the day that we closed. So of course everybody got paid, and then we moved everyone to working online.
Okay.
So we're building our website, or rebuilding our website technically,
Hmm.
and doing some stuff with posting arcade games for sale on all the different platforms like eBay, Craigslist, Facebook, and whatnot.
Yeah, and that's not a terribly big pivot for you because you were you are one of the biggest arcade distributors in the region.
Yeah. So before we had two or three of our staff that were working on the Arcades for Home brand,
Hmm.
and then the rest of the staff were working for TGL. And so basically, everybody's doing Arcades for Home stuff right now.
Right, right. Legal or not, whether they have the capabilities or not.
Yeah, I mean they're working from home, So I mean, I personally I'm going to the shop and working, but I'm not requiring anybody else to come out there with me.
Is there a is Austin and San Marcos at having shelter at home orders as well?
Yeah, in fact, even where I live, we have a curfew of I think it's 11 p.m.
What does that look like? You
Wow.
literally can't leave the house after 11?
If you're out after 11, you will get pulled over and you will get a ticket, is what they said.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But I'll confess, I was out till midnight last night. When you're working on games and you're almost have it fixed or whatever, it's hard to quit. So that's
We've
I
my
all been
excuse.
there before.
I do understand. Yeah, I was
You're
out.
like, well, I tested the battery, I tested the voltage, I got one more thing left. I can't just stop.
Yeah, the chat is correctly pointing out that Operation White Claw would have passed that curfew. There is no curfew like that here, um,
Oh,
but we
good.
are all shelter
Wow.
at home until I think they just extended it to the 30th. Is that correct?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I heard.
it's rough. So you guys are trying to sell more arcades for
I
home?
have
Are you?
to.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Basically, any arcade that I sell will go to pay our staff first,
Hmm.
and then bills second, and then if all those get paid, then I might get paid.
Yeah,
Ooh,
that's.
good
I'm the
luck.
bottom of the totem pole.
Have you looked into the to the stimulus package that was passed last weekend, and how that might
Hmm.
affect you?
Yeah, thankfully I've got some good friends and that are helping with all the CPA stuff and accounting stuff and all the business stuff. So all that's in the process.
Yes, I know. I know. Part of the reason that Corey and Kelsey can't join us on these Twitch streams is because they are hard at work, doing
Yeah.
everything they can to save free play at the same time.
Oh
Um,
yeah, and that becomes a full-time job right there.
it is. No, it 100% is. They read all 800 pages of
I
the
believe
that
it.
bill. I do too. They're fastidious. They do it all. I'm thankful that they do it because it means, for us, I feel cautiously optimistic about our chances of becoming a functioning and open to the public arcade again. But I'm certainly worried for Alamo Draft House. I'm worried for every place that I used to visit, South by Southwest, and of course Texas Gamers
Ooh.
Lounge.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of South by, I mean that was a big blow to us. We've been sponsoring that show, the gaming portion of it, for the past 7 years,
Hmm.
and part of that sponsorship, there is a payment that goes, from us to them and them to us. There's all kinds of things,
Hmm.
but we missed out on that opportunity this year. So that was a big blow to us.
Yeah, is there any word from some South by if they're going to be able to make it? I mean, that was the first thing. That was the first major canceling that really
It
like
was.
made me say, "Whoa, what's going on?"
Yeah,
And then almost
when
instantly
we
they said
heard
we might
South
not be
by was
back.
canceling, I mean, I got probably 20 text messages that day from all of my friends that are somehow involved in South by.
Hmm.
And so I actually heard it through text before I heard it through the news.
Yeah, it's
At that point in time, I still kind of thought that we'd have spring series, and
Yeah,
whew,
me too.
right. Yeah, we tried. We tried to the point where it became clear that even if we had held spring series, well, now we postponed before it was actually like shelter at home, but it was becoming quite clear that if we had spring series, we would have been a detriment to our local society for gathering all those people around.
yeah.
Um,
It was weird though. Like at the time when we're making all these decisions and everyone's going through all this, we had way little information compared to what we have now, which is
yeah.
still little compared to what we'll have tomorrow or the next day.
Yeah, no, we weren't aware if there was if it had not been declared a disaster yet, even though it clearly
Right.
was.
Hmm.
The guidelines from the CDC were changing literally daily.
Yeah.
The news was traumatic and rough. Like virtually, we were streaming. We've been streaming 24/7 for 15 days now, and if you catch some of those older stream replays from 15 days ago, we're literally having to react to major breaking news that is saying, stop doing what you're doing daily.
Yeah. Yeah.
And to the point where now we're making our last stand in my, spare bedroom that I was thankful enough to not have anything in because it was set up as a VR room before, and now it's just packed with all this equipment to keep the stream alive.
Man, it's just crazy. I mean, we're in it, and I kind of, in a way, I feel it, but in another way, it doesn't feel real still, right?
Yes, yes, yeah. It's just, yeah. It's hard. It was hard. It's several traumatic days where we're just trying to like get our bearing, and then as you said, the rug was ripped around from underneath you, and it just ripped again and then again, and just when you think, well, okay, this is the new norm, and we can only have 50 people together, which is both a blessing and a curse because it's not possible to get 50 people together because everybody's so freaked out about it. And then,
Yeah.
it's the next day it's 10 days, and the next day it's everybody stay at home. So it's just,
Hmm.
which, if everybody had been proactive about it, when I say if our governments had been proactive about it, they probably just would have, started at the end and then had their stimulus ready for such a scenario. But so it is. Everybody I know in the industry basically lost their job all at once. It's been
Yeah.
rough. How is your family doing? Are you
Yeah. So my wife is a teacher, so
Mhm.
things are weird for her, obviously.
teaching from home?
She's having to come up with all kinds of lessons and send it to students and deal with all that. At a fourth grade level, it's kind of hard to get these kids online and doing whatever they're supposed to do.
Hmm.
And then on top of that, I've got three boys, and so we just started spring break at that time, so we were able to just hang out for a few days.
Hmm.
But it's been nonstop. Whether my wife is making up work for my own kids to do, and or the teachers are making up stuff and sending it home as well. So
How are the kids on understanding the gravity of the situation? Because I know Shannon was having issues with her 18-year-old not really her 18-year-old and his friend not understanding like kind of the gravity of we can't have a birthday party even though it is your 18th birthday party even though you are graduating.
yeah, I mean, I've got friends that are graduating college. I know people that are graduating high school, or they were anyway, and it's a major blow to them. My kids are at different levels. So my youngest one, Izzy, he's 10, and he thinks we should just go to the store and go do whatever we want. He doesn't understand any of the consequences or the rules or any of that.
Yeah.
I mean, he understands it because he's smart, but he doesn't care about the consequences or rules or anything.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. He understands it on paper, but it's still
Hmm.
just an abstract concept for him. Yeah. No. I
Oh
feel
yeah.
I feel like it's going around for a lot of people, and especially kids are struggling to cope with.
I mean, look, I mean,
Because everything's a new reality for them. So everything is business as usual. It's all brand new, except the actual reality of it is society has had to be under forced change immediately.
yeah, Yeah, I mean, even I struggle with the realities and the application of all these guidelines and rules and everything.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm all about public safety. I'm all about protecting my family. One of my kids has a lower immune system,
Hmm.
so I'm extra particularly being careful right now than I ever have in my life.
Yeah.
And it's just one of those things. I mean, one minute you think one thing, the next minute you think something else, and it's back and forth.
Do you play? You must own. I have no idea how many arcade machines. Are you guys playing? Are you getting a chance to? Is there anything set up? Is everything in boxes?
Um, all the arcades are where they have been.
Hmm.
So Austin's got theirs, San Marcos has theirs. I happened to sign a lease on a new warehouse like a week before all this situation came out.
Hmm.
So I had to spend the last 2 weeks uh, moving games from, I think, 11 or 12 storage units all into a new warehouse that we just got. So um, just been working on that.
Oh my goodness. Well, thanks for taking time out to join us. It's just good to hear your voice.
Yeah, man. Likewise. Thanks for what you guys are doing. I didn't get to say it at the beginning, but I really appreciate what you guys are doing as a leader, if not the leader in the arcade world. I think there's plenty of arcade guys like me who look at you guys as a peer, and at the same way, we look at you as a leader. And
Hmm.
so it's cool to see you guys putting in all the blood, sweat, and tears to make all this happen.
Yeah, no, I have an odd angle because I started as the first fan of free play in some ways. And I
Mhm.
did this gig for a year before they hired me on to officially do the gig. And now that I don't no longer have a job, it means a lot to me, and this community means a lot to me. So I do,
I mean, there's no doubt. I mean, I'm just looking around on social media and I see everybody how they're giving stories about how free play has changed their life, and I'm one of those people also that free play did change my life too. I mean, I look at you guys for wisdom. I look at you guys and I want to participate in all your events, even though I can't. I try my best to get in wherever I can. So it's cool to see you guys, man.
Yeah, no, you sponsored what, 8 players for Spring Series, something like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Is the entire staff? Is that what it was?
No, it's just random guys from our weekly tournaments. I just
Hmm.
started challenging people and coming up with ways to come up with ways to sponsor people.
Yeah, no, we really appreciated it. It's devastating that we won't be able to do Spring Series in the spring. Man, it's rough, and it all hit so quickly that I'm sure you got some of this as well, where and I'm not sure to what level, but I would get all these messages of like, when's Spring Series, when's Free Play Dallas opening. That was one that was really heartbreaking to like be like, well, I don't have a job, so that's not a question I can even fathom
And
answering
the
right
last
now.
call that I got asking if TGL is still open,
Hmm.
that call was I think it was Saturday,
Hmm.
and we've been closed since the 15th,
Right.
and so even up until Saturday, someone called, "Are you guys open tonight? I want to have a party." I'm like,
Yeah, I don't know if you've looked outside lately, but there's no one on the streets. Yeah, it's
I
so.
mean, I don't want to get arrested for having a birthday party.
No, I totally understand, and you just I don't know. We're all kind of doing this together, and we're all trying to fight this stupid virus together.
Yeah,
Um,
for sure.
yeah. Let's talk about the good old days if we can. What did Imran, you did yours? We've been talking about side hustles during all this, and you're of course selling games now, but you had more side hustles than anyone I've ever heard of in the arcade industry. What all did you do in the
Oh
last? Let's
man,
let's just go in the last like three
from when? Which
years.
day? What was the range again? What's the rules?
Something within the last 3 years, because in the time that I've known you, you've done so very much. I don't want to. You don't have to hit every single event because I know you do a lot of them. But the fact that you do
Check
events
the lore, all right?
is you do a lot.
I don't know. I mean, one thing that I enjoy doing, I like to travel and help other people establish arcades. So that's cool.
Hmm.
The thing that I don't like doing as much is swooping in when somebody closes an arcade and buying all their stuff. I hate doing that part,
Hmm.
but
I
it's kind of
imagine
a
you'd
necessary
have
evil.
to occasionally, though, even if it does leave a bad taste in your mouth.
Oh yeah, I mean it's kind of bittersweet because as much as I don't want to do it, I I because I know that it'll help them to pay their bills and do whatever they need to do. Uh, you have to do it sometimes. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
that part
and
is
yeah, it is bittersweet. I'm glad you're doing it to the extent that you take care of games, you care about them. The arcade games will survive all this, and have survived arcade level disasters in the
mm,
past because of it. So, I'm yeah, I understand how you feel that way, but your business has to go on, and also you are doing a service to arcades. Um, you're not swooping in and saving all the arcade one-ups.
no, I'm doing the opposite with those.
Yeah, right. Yeah, yeah. Those are the
Actually,
sandbags.
actually, to be honest with you, I haven't touched one except for at GameStop one time. I regret
We
it.
put one together for the podcast, and I stood flat-footed and reached all the way down as far as I could, and could not reach the control panel.
That's
So,
funny.
yeah.
That's awesome.
Um, let's see. I get to see you at the auction. So you hit a lot of auctions. A lot of traveling for the auctions, or are they all in the North Texas area?
No, I mean we go all over the country for auctions.
Hmm.
That has slowed down anyway, just because we've been overstocked for about 5 years.
Hmm.
But as you know, it doesn't matter how many Street Fighters you have, you can buy another one.
That's true. That's true.
I mean, there's certain games that you can just always keep buying. I mean, I
Yeah.
shouldn't have 22 Ms. Pac-Mans, but if I see another one for sale tomorrow, I'll buy it.
Yeah. No, I'm the
At
Ms.
some
Pac
point.
cocktail is close to my heart. Is that?
Yeah. Likewise.
Yeah,
At some point, I still intend to get one for a coffee table.
there you go.
Yeah, a fully functioning and working coffee table. That is the one arcade cabinet I would permit in my house under normal circumstances. Is just a working Ms. Pac. I'd want to make sure it was in working order, but beyond that,
I could see exactly two cabinets for me. That or a Galaga. But I'd rather have Miss Pac-Man.
right? Yeah,
Well,
yeah. Sister games.
text me the addresses. We'll get them delivered ASAP.
Thank you, thank you.
I'll let you know if I can ever get around to it.
Yeah, yeah. My
Right
finances
now,
seem
I'm
to be a
not
little not in
buying
order.
arcade game.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, nobody has finances right now, but some of us have Miss Pac-Man sitting around. So maybe we can. You can help me by storing it off-site, clearing up space in my warehouse that I need.
Wow, that's a heck of an offer, but a lot of driving, as you are in the Austin area.
Yeah, if I was
Although
in Austin,
you
San
are a
Marcos,
bullet-
I'd probably take you up on that.
Yeah, you are a glutton for punishment when it comes to driving, because I've seen you everywhere.
Yeah, I've got a few deliveries actually scheduled for Dallas right now that I'm trying not to do, but they need to get done. So I'm not gonna do it myself, but we'll find somebody that
Yeah.
wants to do it.
Yeah, looks like everybody's trying to get a Blast City from you now. It's a feeding frenzy out there.
Yeah, it is.
What about the conventions and stuff you would do? Because I know I
Oh,
met you the
dude.
first time at Classic Game Fest.
Oh, that's right, man. That's when I met a lot of people. I think I met Chad that day. I even met Jumpsuit Jesse that day.
I would have
Lots
thought
of
you had
people.
known him before, but
I
yeah.
didn't know him before. No, I met Mike Beltran that day. When
Yeah.
was that? Probably 5 or 6 years ago.
I don't think it was quite that long ago. I think it was 3 or 4. But then again, ever since free
All
play
these
started,
years.
everything feels like one long continuous day.
I agree. I
Mhm.
agree. No, I mean one of the things we get to do is travel for conventions. I mean we go to Washington, D.C., Florida, Colorado, wherever. Um, I think I like every single show. I don't like the work sometimes, but the people are great, man. It's cool to meet people from all over, and we can all gather around games, and it's cool.
Do you end up providing the arcade cabs for those conventions? Is that why you
Yeah.
travel around so much?
Yeah, I only travel with arcade games. I don't really go anywhere for fun or for free. I mean, if I go somewhere for fun, it's very rare. But
Do,
we just went to. Actually, I take that back. We just did our first convention that I went for fun in DreamHack Anaheim.
okay,
That was in January,
gotcha.
and for the first time, I got to travel without arcade games and staff and all that.
Yeah, you didn't have
We
to
were
ask when
supporting.
loadout was.
Yeah, that would have been nuts, man. No, we were supporting my kid. He's a up and coming Fortnite player, and so he was going to compete. We took him up there for that.
Oh, you're transitioning into the esports parent role. Nice.
I am an esports dad and I guess esports team leader now at this point. We've got a Smash Brothers team
Hmm.
and now a Fortnite team.
What's your is it TGL? Is that the
It
sponsor
is,
tag?
yeah. So my kid's name is Isaac. So his name is TGL Isaac. So he does streams on Twitch and all that.
Awesome.
I'll give him a follow right now.
Oh, cool. It's TGL underscore Isaac. He's on Twitter. He just got his Facebook. He's 13 years old. And he
Okay,
won,
here's the dumbest question. ISAAC?
Yes.
All right,
I've seen it
thanks.
spelled other ways too, though. But yeah, that's right. No, I mean,
All
we went
right.
to PAC South, and he won $1,000 there playing that game.
That would. We had Cuddlecore on and yesterday, who's a Pro Tekken 7 player, and just that prize would be more than her entire career earnings. So
Wow.
esports
Wow.
are
How much was it?
just
$1,000.
$1,000. Yeah.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
is it? And we were talking to her about sort of that kind of thing. Like the FGC is like has no money ever, 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 ever.
Right.
And usually,
Right. Unfortunately.
yeah. And I would say free play has added more money to the FGC than almost anybody. But
I agree.
my
For
history,
classic games, that's 100% true without even
Hmm.
any sort of qualifier.
yeah,
Correct.
Like,
yeah, for
Correct.
sure. And I remember leaving the Tekken scene way back in the day. Cuddlecore was a Tekken 7 player, but I left the Tekken scene back in the day because there would be fights over less than $20. Like literally
Wow.
people like yelling at
Man.
each other, and
That's
it's like
scary, man.
we're not even getting dinner with this money. So why are we fighting? There's nothing to fight over.
Yeah.
And I ended up leaving the scene out of frustration at that point. So I'm glad to hear that esports is helping some gamers and some platforms get some of the recognition and money that they deserve. And also, Cuddlecore was saying that sponsors, so you are functioning as a sponsor, have been helping to mitigate that craziness.
Yeah, for sure.
Did you compete back in the day? I know you got a pretty good chun.
I did not compete back in the day, and I compete today for fun.
I mean, same. I get.
It's all fun, right?
Yeah. If you're not competing for fun, then I don't. Again, there's not just not that much money. Even your son's $1,000 prize is not going to pay college. So
Yeah, yeah, you're right. I mean, for him, I think it was it's a good, I guess, boost of confidence
hmm
as someone who's 13 in middle school, trying to figure out who you are and what you're doing, and then you find something that you excel, and you get recognized and rewarded for that. I think that by itself, he'll carry for the rest of his life. That he walked away with this certain prize on the certain day.
yes, no, I agree. I certainly experienced that myself and have carried that forward myself. And yeah, they nobody can take that away. People
Yeah,
can not recognize it all the time, but nobody can take away your experience, and it is a worthwhile experience. Even losing, to be honest with you,
agree.
I enjoy losing and learning and bonding with the people around me and doing it again another day.
Dude, I mean, to name drop you guys' spring series, I brag all the time that I competed there.
Hmm
I didn't win. I didn't even get anywhere close, but it's one of my favorite tournaments I've ever participated in. And I tell people all the time, dude, you got to go. You got to go.
Yeah, no, it's great. It's for me, you're talking about like right in the heart of the maelstrom. It's such
Mhm.
a mixed bag for me because I'm just like everywhere trying to make it happen. My favorite part about Spring Series is the part that's the sad part for everybody else when everything is done and everything starts to settle. And I'm like, yeah, it happened. It
It
happened.
happened. Yeah. And you survived it.
I
Yeah.
survived. Yeah, that's about how it feels from the inside if you're curious. But we do take a lot of pride in it, and certainly I felt like we had an even better lineup this year than we had any of the previous years with our Japanese players. I know Arthur was looking to get an autograph from one of the players.
yeah, I have an old VHS cassette that was from a TZW combo video,
Wow.
and TZW himself was coming to the spring series for free play, and so I'm
Yeah.
like, oh man, I'm gonna get him to autograph my old combo video, and
That would have been cool, man.
ugh,
Yeah,
yeah, I learned a lot from that video.
Yeah, it's I got the pleasure of telling Arthur that multiple times too, and every time he reacted with childlike glee.
Wow, like a kid on Christmas morning opening his Super Nintendo.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
I'm
if only.
we're fighting hard to stay alive. I don't know. I hope free play is worth it. Dang it. We're gonna find a way. We're just gonna find a way. I
Yeah,
don't.
there has to be a way.
There has to be. It's too good. It's too. The community is too strong. It's just. It would be too much of a tragedy to have it go away, because of a dumb virus that I would really like to personify and vanquish in my video gaming sort of ways.
Yeah, for sure, man.
You're the biggest distributor of Killer Queen that I have ever heard of.
Yeah,
Tell me about your relationship with Killer Queen.
it's interesting. I've got. I still have a few in stock, by the way.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean,
It's illegal
we
to play,
started
though. I want to play it. It's so frustrating.
You literally can't legally
Yeah,
play that game.
it's illegal.
Ugh.
It's illegal. There's not a way to make it happen legally. But yeah, no, I mean, I met them a couple of years ago, and I said, hey, I like your game and I like your cab. Can I redesign it and build it a different way for you guys? And they said no. And I said, well, I've got
Maybe
some
spread socially distance it apart.
6 feet between each player.
Yeah.
So that game would be how big?
be like a giant 10-pointed
Like 30
star.
feet? Dude,
Put a
whoever
bunch
here
of
has
linked,
Photoshop skills, let me know.
I was gonna
No,
say
but
put in a whole bunch of linked candy cabs. I can't even think of the name of them. Whatever. The Ulix cabinet. Oof.
oh, there you go. That would be crazy and scary.
Everyone has their full monitor in front of them.
So
Would it be a full like 50-inch, or would it be a? I guess it
Of
doesn't
course
matter.
it would. There's no way around it. Gotta have the experience, except without the shoulder to shoulder. But yeah, that'd
but
be a
you-
great game to play
so-
right now when I can't do that.
so you approached the Bumble Bear guys?
I did. Yeah, I reached out to him and I mentioned that I saw the game. I like it, but I saw some room for improvement, and I recommended some ideas, and they're not open to that at that time,
Mm-hmm.
and even still right now probably. But I said, well, I do travel all across.
Should have
the
offered to make a
countries.
bad console port. They would have been like, heck yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. I'm just not that smart. That's why probably.
Gotcha.
But no, so then I offered, well, what if we did some kind of partnership? I'm already traveling across the country with arcades. We should show off your game for you. So we did a little partnership for I think 6 months, where I added that game to the games that we're taking everywhere,
Mm-hmm.
and that went really well. I guess I earned their trust and friendship. So then I asked if I could be at least a distributor. If I can't be a manufacturer, let me at least distribute. So we started that, and we've sold dozens and dozens of them.
Yeah. Do you sell them privately? Do you have a lot of private
I
sales
do.
of that?
Yeah, people put them in their offices,
Mm-hmm.
for team building stuff.
It's
So there's probably
amazing
some
for that.
secret KQ players out there that they play at work, but they're not in Discord. They're not on Facebook. They're not wherever other community places there are for KQ.
Right. But just, as with any game, and Killer Queen certainly follows this to a T. Like if you grind away or if you play consistently with people around your same skill level, which that's why it makes it a perfect team building game. You'll get much better. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's some lurking Killer Queen badasses out there in offices that have had Killer Queen that you've provided.
Yeah, I think so.
What about the tournament scene? Because you did host at least one big tournament at Texas Gamers Lounge.
Yeah, so we did it last May. That
Mhm.
was awesome. We had a great time, and we're actually gearing up for the second one, which is this May. We're doing it at the Brass Tap this year,
Okay.
and but with everything right now, everything's on hold, right?
Of course. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. Right now we gotta get to where we can play Killer Queen again.
For sure.
Do you play? Do you play that one?
Nope.
No.
No, I'm just no. I mean, I like the game a lot,
Uh huh.
but it's kind of like when I look at somebody playing Third Strike, I'm
Okay,
like, wow, this is amazing. I enjoy watching, but I feel like it's too late for me to get in. I
that's
don't have
interesting.
the time to catch up to thousands and thousands of hours of everybody else's awesomeness.
Well, you are very, very busy, so that's one mitigating factor. Although I feel like if you're
Yeah, I
trying to,
use that excuse a lot.
but I mean it's true.
Yeah.
But I do feel like you can get into it. It's tough because you got to find other people around your skill level to get better, as opposed to just getting mashed by people with
I,
thousands and thousands of
I
hours.
guess that's a good problem we have because Austin is full of awesome players.
Correct.
And, sometimes there's some noobs, jumping on the cab. I'll get in casually with them,
Hmm.
but I try not to do it on purpose. If I don't,
Yeah, no,
embarrass myself.
I do understand, but I do feel like it is an accessible game. Like you can learn it
It
if you
is.
can get one of Imran's cabinets and make it legal to actually play it and play people around your skill level. You will naturally get better pretty quickly because unlike Third Strike or a lot of like complex fighting games, it's just left, right, and one button. So it's not. There is technique. There is deep technique, but
Mm.
it's not impossibly deep. Not that I would say fighting games are impossibly deep, but it's way way less on the joysticks and buttons and
Yeah,
combinations
I
and
mean
stuff.
it's definitely accessible. I agree with that.
Um, are you the major distributor of anything else I don't know of? Because I know of Killer Queen, but like
No,
you've got so
not
many side hustles. I don't even know them all.
me neither.
I
I'm still
believe
trying
you.
to find out.
You're like, oh, I
But
own
yeah, I
that.
mean, besides Killer Queen, at one point I was doing a lot of candy, but I cut down on that. It's a lot of risk and a lot of weird things come in. People promise something and you get something different, and then I'm the middleman on the hook with other
Actually,
people.
since you brought it up, I would love to hear because so many people are very interested in candy cabs, and yet so many people are only familiar with the concept of buying from a GameStop and how consistent that would be to buy a physical copy of a game. Can you tell us
Mhm.
some of the pitfalls of just owning or trying to own candy cabs?
Yikes. Look, I've got some awesome technicians that help me with everything that we do here.
Mm-hmm.
And there are some times where they say, dude, this monitor just can't be fixed.
Mm-hmm.
And on a candy cab, when that happens, it's real hard to find another monitor that's the exact one for it. Yeah, I mean you could rob one off another game that technically fits or rig it up, but if you want the original monitors in there, that by itself, as you know, you're gonna have to have extra cabs laying around just to have extra, right?
Yeah, it's something. Well, I mean, CRTs specifically, and generally, sorry, are illegal to produce
Mm-hmm.
worldwide. So
Yeah,
you're not gonna get a new one.
right.
And you're talking about some of the biggest, heaviest, most like specialized CRTs that were produced for. How even long were they produced? Because we're talking about
I
what?
don't know that, but I know there's no documentation out there. I mean,
Right.
people are making their own documentation,
Yeah,
figure out how to
it's.
work on these and reverse engineer them.
Hmm. Yeah, something like 29-inch tri-sync monitor, something like that.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, hard to find.
it's absurd. So you end up. Do you import them?
We did at one point.
Hmm.
I'm not anymore. I mean, if I need one, I'm just gonna pay somebody an expensive price and get one
Hmm.
as soon as I need it.
What was your import experience?
Well, I mean, basically, you tie up your money for
It's probably terrifying. Is why
like
why I'm
four
bringing
to
it up.
like 4 to 6 months, and then you're scared every single day for those 4 to 6 months if this was all a scam or if it's real, if they're coming in or if the money's just gone or what.
Yeah, because you could get them, and you talked about how valuable or important the monitors are. If they have all been post converted to LCD monitors in Australia or China or wherever you can import them from, well then you just have a big crate of nothing.
Correct.
Ugh. Did
Yeah.
you ever have that happen or anything like that?
Thankfully, not. I've heard of stories from people that have said that they paid money and the boat sank or whatever,
Oh my
and
goodness.
they never got anything.
Pirates.
Yeah, the Pirates of the Caribbean got them.
So
But
somewhere
so I
Jack
don't
Sparrow is
know.
just
I
playing
mean,
on authentic candy cabs.
he's training for
Yes.
spring series.
Yes, he
this year.
is.
I mean, I don't know, man. It's just so crazy because there's so many variables and there's no checks and balances. and the only person accountable is me,
Yeah.
and I'm accountable to myself, and I'm accountable to all my customers. And
Right.
so, as you know, I mean, we pride ourselves in our customer service. I'm definitely not the cheapest person around. I'm probably on the higher end, um, price point wise, but I mean, I'll do whatever it takes to make something right if anything's ever wrong.
Well, that being said, Free Play was happy to work with you on many, many occasions. Your
Yeah,
reputation, I know you not because your reputation is among the best. It's because it's the best. Um,
thank you.
that's how we felt about you at Free Play, and even people within, you know, Killer Queen fans have already independently found you because you are such a big distributor of Killer Queen.
Yeah,
Also, Jerry Holt you delivered a cabinet
yeah.
right to his house. So,
Did he
we
tell you that I fell down?
did he tell you that you fell down? No.
Yeah. When I was going into his
Check the
apartment, I
lore,
stepped on
right?
something wrong and I fell down. But the cab landed on me, so the cab was safe. So it's
Oh,
good.
that's good. That's good. That's good because we can't replace that 29-inch tri-sync monitor.
Yeah, I mean, you can replace
Your
my
your
leg
hip.
or
We can
or
get you another
blood or
hip.
whatever. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Blue Abs says KQ Cabs. Yes, no, we are being joined by Imran Acosta of Texas Gamers Lounge, who is the biggest distributor of Killer Queen in the region. So, yeah, if you want your entire Killer Queen cabinet that you can get and only use once we get released from shelter at home, he's the man. Um, do you have any good stories from conventions and getting around? Do you have anything that jumps out in your mind?
Yeah, I've got a funny story.
Go for it.
We went to DreamHack in Colorado.
Hmm.
This was the last year or the year before. But anyway, we get there and it's in a rodeo place. The building wasn't what I'm used to. When we go to conventions,
Were
they're
there
typically
floors? I'm imagining like the.
yeah.
Okay, there was a
Yes,
floor.
you
That's
nailed
good.
it.
Oh no,
Okay.
I did. So there's no floors.
Kind of. So the building is a place where they do rodeos
Mhm.
normally, and that's where they put the BYOC, bring your own computer area,
Hmm.
and that also doubled as a place for some people that don't stay in hotels. They come to a convention, they bring a sleeping bag, and they just camp out uh, because the show's a 24-hour a day show.
Right.
So when I got in and we're loading in, they didn't have a freight elevator accessible. So number one, we had to bring in 50 arcade games one at a time in a personal size elevator.
Oh
We
my
had to
God.
walk about, I feel like it was a mile, but it was probably half a mile with each game one by one by one.
I'm leaving Killer Queen in a truck if that's the case.
We had to take the control panel off
Oh
and
my goodness.
do all kinds of stuff just to make that happen.
That's
Anyway, so getting the games in and out was a bear, just that by itself. But it was crazy that the building smelled like a rodeo, and the floor of not where the arcade was. Thankfully, the arcade was on the second floor, but the ground floor, they were putting tarps down to cover the dirt and whatever it is. But every time you step on that tarp, you can see a little cloud of sand, whatever, poofing out. Kind of like, I guess, if you're playing Super Mario World and you have Yoshi, and he makes a little cloud,
yes.
the yellow Yoshi, when you step on stuff. It was just like that walking around that event, and it was crazy. And I remember talking to the organizers, and they were like, "Dude, this building is not what we expected."
It doesn't even have a floor.
They didn't. I guess they didn't know, or
That,
somehow information wasn't communicated.
that sounds like
But
what everybody
they were-
else describes that they think my life is when I say outside of Texas that I'm from Texas. Like,
Oh yeah, it must
Yeah.
be cowboy.
oh, of course, we all have cowboy hats and spurs, and there's horses in
ride
the
your horse to
streets,
work.
and there's nothing but cows everywhere, and we're digging for oil in our own backyard. Yeah, and not quite. But apparently Colorado, yes.
So Colorado was awesome, man. The people at that show made up for the weirdness of the building itself. I did sell my Capcom Empress that day
Mhm.
to John Exity up there in Colorado.
Yes,
That
yes.
was cool.
No, and as part of all the devastation of all this, I heard Arcade One Up closed. So Everybody's
Man.
everybody's just sort of, I don't know. It's
I'd
rough.
say we win, being real arcades, but we closed 2. They
Oh,
may be back.
no. I'm sorry. Did I say Arcade One Up?
Yeah.
It's what is the name of the place? Do you know it?
It's the one up.
The One Up.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, no, it's my bad. I had too much on it. Yes, the One Up Arcade Bar. Sorry, from Denver. I know they're not related to free play, but another one of the higher end arcades out there across the country. So just devastating news for arcades everywhere as we have been declared illegal. It is so bleak out there. Are you gonna play in Tuesday Night Fights with us?
Yes, I'm ready.
Yeah, no, I'm ready
Got some
for
good matches in last night with some of your boys.
Yes, no, they were all shocked at how good the arcade owner was from Austin.
Oh, for real? You heard about it?
Oh yeah. No, I was on
Nice.
Operation White Claw when everybody was struggling to fight against the Chun-Li of TGL Imran.
I didn't realize there was a discussion going on. Was it on Discord or what?
Yeah, no. So what we've been
I'll have to
doing,
get on
yeah. So this stream is going literally 24/7.
Right.
Akihabara, I don't know about Akihabara Boat Guide. That's not the arcade I was referring to, though. It's also in Denver. So, yeah, this stream's going 24/7, but we've been live programming this is probably our 16th consecutive day,
Yes.
from noon till 10 p.m. And when I say 10 p.m., I mean we closed shop at like 2 a.m. last night.
Okay, gotcha.
And I just get up and roll back into this room, and we start all over again. So it's a lot of content to do, but also, as part of preparation for Tuesday Night Fights, or just playing a game with each other as we're all stuck at home. We've turned to Fightcade 2. It's not the same. It does not feel the same. It's very frustrating. You probably already know that.
It's way different.
Yeah, it's frustratingly so. And the barrier of entry, like, part of the beauty that I love about free play and any arcade, TGL as well, like, you go in there and you sit down at the cabinet and you hit the start button, and that's it. You're playing.
That's it. Yeah, I mean, last night I'm here downloading stuff and
Yeah.
unzipping on accident and then zipping stuff back up. It was just a big deal
Yeah.
to get in, but
Right,
I
we're
got
trying
mine figured
everything.
out, so I'm ready.
Yeah, we're trying everything we can to make the barrier of entry as low as possible. So we're using Fightcade, which is it's not a it's not a commercial product, so it's not something you have to pay for. But still, setting it up is hard. You have to have a computer. You have to have you're going to want to have a fight stick, and even if you have a fight stick, it's still not the arcade. It's so frustrating to go from a world where, just a few weeks ago, I just tell any member of the Panda Embarrassment to show up and hit start, and we're good. And I'll make sure everything else runs super smoothly. And it breaks my heart that we're going to do it this way because it's better than nothing, but it is going to be different for sure.
Well, doesn't it go against everything that we've been doing all these years? Like, as far as, I'm not talking about the program or whatever, but I'm talking about, we always pride ourselves in, we put new buttons in, we put new joysticks in, we did all this stuff for you. Here it is, come and enjoy. And now it's like, okay, everybody, you guys go do this, you figure this out, and I'll meet you there, and we'll still have fun. But I didn't get that joy of serving you, doing it for you in preparation for you. Right?
100%. It's a mixed bag, to say the very least. And I know when it comes time, tonight, there's going to be people who want to be in this event who maybe are used to how I've run things over the course of years, where they can show up at 7:30, 7:45. No,
stroll on in.
Yeah, just okay. I'm ready. Sign me up for Tuesday Night Fights. What's the game? I don't even care. Just sign me up.
Yeah.
And that can't be the case. If you're interested and you're listening, you want to be in Tuesday Night Fight Super Turbo with us, we're going to do the 2v2. It may be very small, may be very fast, but we're going to do it on Fightcade 2. If you're in our Discord...
Oh, are we actually doing a 2v2 style?
We are.
Oh,
and
my.
And
so
because...
Where do I find my other one? I'm a 1B whoever.
You
do I have to bring another person with me, or do you have a
No. You just sign up. You just sign up, and I'll sign teams. But it does open it up for the possibility. And I put this in the No Honor Crew, which is the Facebook group of Super Turbo players worldwide, the English-speaking ones at least. They're welcome to join if they have the ability to, and they will all be considered pros from outside the area. but it may mean that our pros are much more literal in the pro sense than normally when it's just Beltran and we all laugh at him being a pro and not reversal uppercutting.
Hmm.
We've hard banned Turtle Power from being Beltran's partner, right?
Yeah. Beltran and Turtle Power is not a partner. That was a partnership only for the arcade Jeopardy. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to it for sure. Well, I'm looking forward. It's so bittersweet. It's exactly like you said, Imran. Where just you do one thing all this entire time, and you make it just perfect. You try to make the arcade utopia that you want it to be, and now we're just stuck scrounging for everything we can.
But you know what, man? Yeah, for sure. But I'm so looking forward to it. I took the whole day off today.
Oh man,
just to get ready
that's
for you
awesome.
guys tonight.
Are there any other Austin players who are going to join us?
We're gonna find out. I'll be texting out some reminders here in a minute.
Yeah. Get
one
on.
of my buddies wants to do it, but he doesn't have a computer, so he's not gonna be in.
Who's that?
Jules from San Marcos.
Gotcha. Yeah. If they're not already, invite them to our Discord. Have them talk to Chris Lego. He's got everything
awesome,
you need.
man. He got me in.
Yeah, he's got everything you need. It doesn't cost anything. You do need the equipment of a laptop or a computer that's running probably. It works on the Mac. It works on different versions of Windows. I hear it works best if you're running Windows 10, but I am not the technical head either. Fortunately, people like Ray, who's in the chat with us, just came over on no notice and set it all up. Chase, are you going to be in?
A bunch of people on Fight K2 if they need it.
You can help as well, Ray?
Yeah, I'll be home here probably about 45 minutes. I got to stop for some meatloaf.
Awesome.
But luckily, I drive fast enough, so.
Well, be safe. Don't drive like it's Operation White Claw. It's not that important.
Look, there's these things called express roads where speed limits are not actually recognized. They're just kind of like,
suggestions.
Suggestions.
The North Texas Motor Speedway underneath 635.
Audubon.
Yeah,
it's pretty.
So you get put in triple digits up there, you can get around pretty fast.
Yeah, it's like Ridge Racer down there.
I love it.
I guess. I don't know. Did you have anything else you wanted to talk about in particular, Imran, or am I forgetting anything? I don't want to keep you extra long, especially if you're helping us.
There's something I need you to say.
Please.
That is, we got to say free play. You got to say it, man.
Hey, let's say free play. It's how you can help is right there. freeplayinc.com/savethearcade. Every one of us is committing all of our time and efforts to making sure that we get through this together and we come around the other side. I know Michael Beltran has told me we are going to have the biggest promo of all time when we open this thing back up to the public. Help us save free play. There's plenty of information of how you can help us monetarily at freeplayinc.com/savethearcade. And while we get through helping us spread the word that we are streaming live and local and unrelentingly, whether it kills me or not, from noon till 10 p.m. every single day, 7 days a week. And we're streaming reruns after that. But local programming, there's almost nobody doing that quite like this. I don't think anyone's doing it quite like this.
Right.
Hey, Chris.
Yes.
Am I still penciled in for Thursday night after hours?
Can you be more specific?
Yeah, like after 11 o'clock on Thursday night, where I'm going to destroy the entire game of Resident Evil 3 in one sit through.
Ooh.
Sure. I mean, if you got the time.
You
The
want
last
something
thing we
right
have,
now.
you said Thursday, right?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
Thursday at 11 is whenever they let us log in.
Yeah, so the last thing we have scheduled here, I'll put you on the schedule right now. And I've got actually a pretty robust schedule. Have you seen any of this stuff, Imran, that we've been doing?
Yeah, I've been peeking in here and there between stuff.
Yeah, I basically have about 2.5 hours between the time I wake up and the time I actually go live to frantically try and schedule guests and stuff.
Yeah, that's usually when we text.
Yes, yeah, that's because the only time I really can look at the
Right.
at the phone.
Yeah.
But I've
Always
managed. just through my travels, I've managed to meet quite a few people. So we have like for example, tomorrow we have VGM Wednesday Live, so they're going to do a live video game music show at noon, and photoshopping of the post that we do every week. Lonnie McDonald, the Joust Master, how many times have you seen Lonnie McDonald, Imran?
Man, I feel like I've seen him more times than not. Yeah, he's everywhere.
Yeah, he literally goes to every joust machine in the world and rolls it, every single one of them. So he's going to join us at 3 o'clock tomorrow. Dr. Angela Beard, Gory Midori joins us every day at 6:30. I may have somebody playing games locally with me at 5, my roommate. It just depends on if she's around. 7 o'clock we'll have a Free Play Richardson bartender roundtable, so we'll exchange stories of happier times and crazier times. Well, maybe not crazier times, but crazy times behind the bar nonetheless. And it's just on the next day. Killer Miller and El Trouble will be joining us on Thursday. We had Cuddlecore with us. I'm going to have Mutant XP, the leader of Jazzy Circuit.
Cool.
Yeah, just on and on. The train keeps moving, and it hasn't stopped yet, and we're not letting it stop. So help me spread the word.
If I haven't told you enough, man, I'm proud of you. Thanks for everything you're personally, all the things you're doing in conjunction with all the things Free Play is doing. So
you're welcome, and you've always been a friend of Free Play, and we've always rooted for you and Texas Gamers Lounge in the San Marcos and Austin area. So I really want to see Texas Gamers Lounge find a way to the other side of this as well, and vanquish all the pretender arcades out there, because you do the real stuff just like we do.
Respect.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, and I hope they never cover up that Texas Gamers Lounge logo on the Free Play truck, because it's there still.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Well, awesome.
Hey, Imran.
Yeah.
Before you disappear, Chris.
Yes.
Talk to you too.
I'm listening.
Can we somehow coerce to put pressure on Imran to get you a Primal Rage PCB so then we can have Arthur the Piss-a-thon?
No one cares about Primal Rage.
I care about Primal Rage in that I want it not to happen.
Oh man. Okay, so I'll give you guys my Venmo account. Whoever sends them. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, actually, I was texting another guy earlier today. He was looking for a Robotron motherboard. I said, dude, I've got shelves and shelves of motherboards that are not tested, not cataloged. For you, Ray, I know for sure I've got at least 4 Primal Rage boards in there.
Yes, this is Ray.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what
Probably
version,
Ray.
but they're in there.
Joe.
Probably the only person that actually cares about this game. Because I'm beyond people.
Joking aside about arcade needs at this moment for me, for me, versatility has been number one. I have a beautiful, really should be collector's edition version of Super Turbo right here. I can touch it, my CPS2 cart, right next to a Super Gun, and it's not even getting hooked up because I can't really play it locally with much of anybody. And it's big, I mean, relatively. And then on top of that is an MVS with a 171 cart. Thank you for that, Ray. And that's playing all the Neo Geo games. So versatility, unfortunately, is the way I have to go right now. So, we got a Dark Soft CPS2 kit that's on the fritz, so that's not going to work. But things like that is what I need, because I'm literally stuck in this room, and it's not even as big as I am, because if I reach my arms past this, they just vaporize into nothingness. But fortunately, I can pull them back.
Well, Chris.
Yes.
Some good news for you on the Dark Soft CPS2 kit. Apparently, they're shipping them out the second you order them. Because when I ordered my Dark Soft CPS2 kit, they literally sent me tracking within 30 minutes, and it was at the door, being in motion within 2 hours. So I should actually have it tomorrow. I'd have an A and B board for Sacrifice. And
Alpha 1?
Sure it's MBC1.
Oh man, hate to lose that one though.
Well, that's that board that I bought from the auction back in October that had the suicide battery.
Oh, so it's already vaporized?
It's already vaporized.
Okay, I understand.
Well, there you go. Makes it
That's
right.
the best thing to use.
Yes, the suicided one. Imran, can you please go back in time, build a time machine, go back in time, and convince Capcom not to put that stupid battery in there?
Dude, we should all go back there and tell them all kinds of things. I'm sure you got a list.
There's that. There's
Can you bring us
whoever
some
made.
pricing monitors when you're back there.
Yeah, bring us some monitors back, some new ones, please. Maybe order another new shipment. And also, what else do we gotta get the those what's the racing game? ID something?
Initial D.
Initial D, right? Get the Initial D like 7 or whatever it was we had on the floor for like a hot second to. That was 100%.
Was it 7 or 8? I think it was 8.
I don't remember, but
I want to say it was 8.
We could not. Yeah, ID 8. Yeah, we could not put it out on the floor. Just
what was it?
it was
Wait,
the cards.
Are you talking the network one?
Yeah, it was the cards.
Well, beyond the cards, it was also we couldn't network them together because the server code had been updated and we couldn't get it for some reason.
Yeah.
It was ID8 because it was on the floor for like a week, and I was supposed to trounce Arthur on it, and it left too soon.
Dang.
Huh? I don't have any recollection of this. You would have lost.
Yeah, because you don't play right. You play with boost.
That's the actual way the tournaments are run, dude.
We gotta
No,
let
it's not.
Imran go. He has to move all of the arcade cabinets to his new warehouse right now.
No, I'm done,
Ray
bro.
go too.
I'm done with those games. I'm done.
Well, in that case,
Chilling.
then feel free to chill and enjoy the
No,
show with
I
us.
gotta go
all
though.
day long.
I still gotta go.
Or not.
Right.
Anyway.
We'll see you at 7.
Yeah, man. See y'all then.
Thanks,
Peace.
Imran. That is Imran with Texas Gamers Lounge.
Always a pleasure, Imran.
And out in Austin and San Marcos, feeling the heat like we all are. But we're glad he checked in. Those guys do it right down there. Big fans of free play.